Hey guys, what's up? PipSnipers here, back for another update. Let's take a look at the crypto total altcoin market cap over here. And what we see is a huge move up in the 2020 bull market. We have your peak, and then we have your counter trend, accumulation at the lows, and now what we're going to have is a continuation of the trend. So I put an illustration for you over here. So this over here would be your uptrend. This is your counter trend, your ABC correction. You have your accumulation at the lows, and then you have your continuation of the trend. So we see that exact same thing playing out over here. Now we've currently been within 580 days within this range of Wyckoff accumulation. When we take a look at it on the 2-day time frame over here, we do have your selling climax. When you have your selling climax, it doesn't take much money to move the price back up, causing a short squeeze into your automatic rally, a secondary test of the lows, and then you have your failed breakout to the upside. Now, usually when you have your first failed breakout, it does create the top of your range, and then you go down to make a new low for your secondary test in phase B. So you see how we went into extremes again when we went below psychological support. Going into extremes caused a short squeeze back up to the top of the range for your second failed break. When you have your second failed break, you're going to chop around sideways and have what's called a creaking phase. And this so we've been in this Wyckoff accumulation range for over 580 days. And just within this creak phase, you see that we've been within it for 224 of those 580 days. Okay, so the creak phase is when you don't want to be in the market and you just want to sit in cash, right? Just let that creak play out. You're going to see an initial advance, but in order to trust this move over here, you're going to want to see a move back down to key support, and then you're going to want to see bulls pick up steam from there, and then you would enter on the break of structure or the change of character. Okay, so after you come down for your spring, you have your initial advance, and you have what's called a jump across. So you're jumping across the creek. Picture it like a frog. So you have your Wyckoff accumulation range, then you have your peak or your bull trap, and then you have your creek. See, very, very choppy, and then it forms a rising wedge or a broadening wedge, go below the trend line support to take out your trend line liquidity, and then that would be your spring. And then, so this is your creek over here, and now you have what's called a jump across, and you would spot the initial advance, and if you didn't get in over here, that's okay. You would get in on the retrace. This over here would be the optimal entry, and over here, because for your last point of support before you have your jump across the creek, which is exactly what we're having right now. We had already. So this is your jump across. Now we're at the top of the range here. This is after having a euphoric move up, you have what's called your sign of strength. Okay, I believe this is when everything was taking off. XRP, let me see here. Yeah, so this was the peak over here, which is also called your sign of strength. Then you have a backup phase. Backup phase is when when the composite operator brings the price back down to the top of the range. And what it looks like we're forming here is a bull flag. So we have a descending channel and we're actually breaking on out of it. However, we do see some resistance at the 78.6% fib. Right there at 512 billion on the logarithmic scale. So when we take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame here, this is a descending channel which we broke out of. Okay, that's a fact. However, this can be a broadening wedge. This can be a broadening wedge. So there's two wave counts here. So this is what I'm thinking. We have an A, B, C down for your A wave. You have an ABC up for your B wave, 3-wave move down for your C, 3-wave move up for your D, and then we have a 3-wave move down for your E wave, which would create a megaphone pattern as your backup phase or your bull flag before we have continuation of the trend. So this over here would be your flagpole, you could say. This is your flagpole. And this is your bull, and then this is your flag, and then this is your continuation. You see? Just like that. So I do expect a move above 1.13 trillion once we enter into phase E, because right now we're going into phase E. Today is a very important day because today is the weekly close, which we will see within 7 hours and 47 minutes. So the weekly looks good, right? We have a bullish pin bar. We have a bullish pin bar right here. And then we see a move to the upside. However, we are running into overhead resistance. So we could have an E wave down, or this is just an ABC correction, right? Where you have a 5-wave move down in your A wave, 3-wave move up in your B wave, and another 5-wave move down in your C wave. And then what you have here is a subwave 1, subwave 2, subwave 3, come down for a wave 4, and then continue the impulsive structure to the upside like that. Okay? And then if we get back above the 786, which is at trendline resistance, where it's rejecting off of right now, then we could say that this correction is done. However, if we can't get above it, then it wouldn't surprise me that we see a move back down to the median at least. Okay, so if we take a fib from this subwave 2 up to this local high, take a look at your 50%. Okay, let's take a look at the 50. And let's take a look at the 38.2, your 702, and your 618. Okay, so I think we would come down to at least the 38.2%, 50% fib. But if we lose the 50%, then it's likely we'll come down to the 38.2% fib right here at the median. If we lose the 38.2% fib measured from your C wave low, then it's likely we'll have an E wave down to complete your megaphone pattern before the continuation up. But if you're a long-term holder, don't get so wrapped up into the small time frame, and remember where exactly we are in the Wyckoff schematic going into phase E, guys, and the target will be liquidity resting above 1.13 trillion. Hope you guys enjoyed the total altcoin market cap video. If you have any questions, just let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.